Detroit.
The next one here is going to be a 3rd and short situation. You're going to see we're going to get motion come down. 1 second here, motion come down. You're going to get a little bit of a drive type situation here from, I believe that is Zylstra coming across. More importantly, though, you're going to get pressure up the middle, right in Hendon Hooker's face. He's going to have to make a decision and get out of there quickly, or make a move here, because linebackers are going to come in unblocked. And as we talked about last week, this was a mess sort of all over the place this week. The interior was really not very good. They gave these guys pretty much the whole game. The tackles weren't very good either. So he's got to make a decision very quickly here. Okay, we got to get out of there. See, look where his eyes were at as well before he makes the decision to get out. Remember, we talked a couple weeks ago, he was struggling with all that. It was panic time. I can't get out. And then I'm just going to run immediately. I'm not going to play football. My eyes are up. Now I'm shifting back to here. Made the quick move, be an athlete, stay loaded, make the throw. Zylstra's got to do a better job of making sure he catches that thing and securing it without bobbling it, as we saw later on. But right there, as you saw Hendon from the backside of this thing, here comes the linebacker unblocked. He sees this thing the whole way. His eyes are here, and he's going to come off and get right to Zylstra here. See, the head is moved, and we're going to make a really good throw with somebody on us. Really good stuff right there. Really good athletic play. Sometimes it's really good for a quarterback to have to go through this, to play behind somebody that just a line that's terrible and that's not going to give you any time, that you're going to get a little bit of happy feet. You're going to take hits, and you have to figure it out and keep moving and just burn it and move on to the next one. Burn that thing, move on to the next one. That's going to be a theme in this. Don't let one thing turn into another mistake. Keep moving and keep going. That sort of happens early here, as we're going to see, but as time goes on in this game, I think he gets a little bit better at it. Before we get there, though, there's going to be some rough stuff, and this is going to be another one. Okay, we're going to get stuck over here on this bunch, and typically, and more specifically, whether or not he wants to throw to this comeback or to the fullback, tight end, whatever you want to call him, coming out into the flat here, and he's just going to get stuck, and he's going to freeze, and this thing's going to get even worse. So he's stuck. What do I do? This is not exactly the release maybe we're looking for. So whatever, throw it here. Okay, not going to do either. We're just going to stand there and sort of pump the ball. And then by the time I want to come back to their side, it's going to be way too late because this guy's gotten beat. And again, like we talked about, sometimes you got to play behind a bad offensive line. It happens. Jared Goff, they get pressures on him all the time. He gets rid of the ball in his first read when the first read's there. Hendon does this a lot. It's just sometimes it's not there when you want it to be. And that's a sack. That's Hendon's fault. That's not on the offensive line. That's 10, big play action. It's going to be a deep shot. I'm going to move myself here so you can see where that route goes. Big play action. It's going to be pressure in his face, and the line's not going to do a very good job, but he's also not going to be ready to throw the football here, as you're going to see when he comes out of his drop, when he stops and comes up. If there is steps with a hitch, fine, but if it's 7 steps in the hitch and then throw it, fine. But often with that sort of thing with him, the hitch becomes a lot more than just a little bit of a hitch. It's hold the ball, pat it, or do something weird with it, or your feet are a mess. And here we see again, he's not ready to throw the ball. And that's a tough one because there's pressure there, of course. But if you're ready to throw the ball and you're reading this properly, you're going to rip this to the corner and let this guy on the out just go run into it right here. And these are the things, again, that we talk about. Goff rips that ball. He makes the throw. He doesn't think about it. Look at all the time that he takes. He's going to take a hit on this. He's a tough dude. He doesn't mind getting hit, as we just talked about. This is not about, I'm worried about getting hit. It's about trusting your reads and trusting your receivers are going to be there. Throw that thing into an open patch of grass. It's the NFL. He'll go get it for you. He'll go make a play. He doesn't really do it. So, that one I think is a little bit on both sides there. The offensive line needs to do a better job on this big play action like this, of course. Clements and Kingsley, who did not have a good day either, need to do a better job there. But Hendon needs to come out of that drop, ready to throw the football. We're going to see this pop up again more for him. And some of these things, these hits that he's taking in the pocket are a little bit, his fault as well. All right, 2nd and long, and this is going to be a really good one. He's going to come back to the backside on this. We're going to see the scheme here in a second as it comes up. Little high-low over here, levels on the backside, and he's going to get back right here to this underneath dig because we're going to watch his eyes go from 1 to 2 to 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Perfect. That's ideal. That's ideal. And, this is why I like Hendon Hooker, okay? We just talked about a bunch of stuff that has been kind of not great, and it's pretty deep into the game here. And the Steelers were up 14-0, and this thing was not looking good at all. But he never throws a towel in. And we start to find a stretch here where he starts to say, okay, I'm just going to, one play is not going to lead into the next no matter what it is. I'm just going to let that burn, and we're going to go on, and we're going to move on. And here you can see his eyes from this angle. Look this way, and he scans. There, no, back, throw it. Love it. That's great. Because you know what's in there. It just needs to be more consistent and on every down. about to get in the groove here because his best play of the day, and here's Isaiah, the 83. What did he finish with in this one? Uh, it was just this one. So it was just the 1 for 17. But I mean, he had 6 or 7. In the one a week ago. Just going to cook this guy right here in the slot. Nothing anybody can do. And you just look at how much faster he is than everybody else on the field, for crying out loud. Looks like everybody else is playing like slow motion or like 3/4 speed, and he's just going like way faster than everybody else. Like that guy's got to probably make the team, right? I mean, I guess we'll find out. That's going to be an interesting one. Zone, here we go. Going to get out of there again and run, and this is where the athleticism is, where a lot of people had said, maybe this guy was more athletic than I realized because he didn't do a lot of this at Tennessee. He didn't have to. He ran some, but he didn't have to do a lot of stuff like this, and that's pretty darn good. That is pretty darn good stuff right there, and that's one where you don't want to sit here and say, and Campbell said it after the game, like, he was playing quarterback in this game. He wasn't just dropping his eyes and running out of there the minute that something went wrong because he was getting stuff in his face like immediately. I got to make a play. I got to be an athlete. Nothing wrong with this, man. Be hard to tackle. Just go be hard to tackle. He's not a small guy either. You don't love the hits, but this is his game, and this is going to be part of it. These aren't design runs, but this is stuff that you pick up, move the chains, keep the offense on the field. Like I talked about in the live stream too. If a situation ever arose where Jared Goff actually got hurt and you had to throw this guy in, it's going to be a complete 180 for the defense. This actually also gives them something to work on in practice with a mobile quarterback that they haven't had in the past. So his athleticism this camp has been outstanding. His best throw of the day, or one of them, it's going to be one of my favorites anyway, this big dig, come back over the cross, stuff that he was not throwing a month ago, certainly not. On the play action, he's going to come up. Of course, it's not going to be there this way. Safety's going to be moving as we're going to move him. We're going to come back to the dig. Boom. Take the hit, make the throw, baby. That's perfect. That is perfect. Best one he had all day, I thought, right there. He's going to move that safety, exactly what he's supposed to do. Get him over there, come back, take the hit, make the throw. Your guy's going to be there. Caden Davis, another nice catch for him. But this was my favorite one of the day in terms of doing what you're supposed to do, trusting the route concept, trusting the situation. The guy's going to be there. I don't care if I'm going to get hit. And he doesn't. He steps into his throws. He could have stepped out of the bucket a little bit there. But Hendon's a tough kid. I think that's been pretty much proven here so far. So I don't think there's panic in there. He's not afraid to step in and make a throw. That's really good stuff. Pressure situation here, and he's going to get out of there. But again, like I said earlier, I like how he's out of there with the head up. We're not necessarily always looking to run in a panic mode. Head is up. You can see that right here. We're looking downfield, and if something does spring, he's loaded. And he's obviously behind the line right there. But, watch when he rolls out. And I don't see what I want. I got the pressure on my face, but I get out of there, and I'm loaded. He's ready to throw. He can throw that ball right there. He's a good athlete. He can flip the hips, get the ball out. And so he's ready to throw. He's looking downfield, and he's ready. He's trying to make a play. And now I know where I'm at, right? Look at that, too. Knows where he's at. There's the line. Get out of bounds. And now it's not going to be a hit. That's great stuff. This is the interception. Not going to be a good situation here for him. The snap is not going to help him. He had some snap issues here. Hudson. Hendon was late on a hitch earlier from a bad snap as well. And this one's going to be actually a pretty good job of catching it because it's going to be up by his ear, sort of, or at least by the shoulder. And he's going to get stuck over here a little bit and way too late coming back to the dig again because it's going to be wide open right as he turns around the corner right there, as we're going to see, and he's just not going to see it. And he's going to hitch a little bit as you see that really bad snap. Did a good job of getting there and gets his head back around. But it's, a little bit late. We could see him clearing out, and this is coming open now. Really open. Really open. Got to throw that ball. Got to throw it. More padding of the ball. And then, awkward sort of not stepping into it with our feet because we're panicking a little bit because we're late. And we're not stepping into the throw, and it leads him, and it gets picked because Sutton is there. And in the NFL, that's usually going to be an interception or it's going to be something that's not good. And if that ball, like we said earlier, is out when he makes his break, when he comes back and sees him, because he sees him here and doesn't pat, and then throw, and then actually steps into it, even if he stepped into it after the pat, even if he stepped into it after the little, hitch a little bit, still would have been a completion. Isaiah would have gotten lit up, but it would have been, something. The ball's got to get out way faster. All right, so we talked about the interception, right? So here we go. This is the next possession that the Lions have the football on, okay? And it's not the exact same play, not the exact same situation, but it's going to be another big dig. We saw earlier the Caden Davis situation coming down the seam. So he's going to have to again make a throw down the middle of the field, not worry about it. be confident, come out of this action here, straight up and make a throw. Come up, make a throw. He steps up, at least step up into the pocket. There you go. One way or the other, he stepped into it. Ball was a little bit high. Alexander made a really nice play for him. But that's the stuff I think I like the most about Hendon Hooker is he's a pretty fearless player. He's not, a guy that lets one thing dwindle or, hang in there too much. That ball sailed on him. We can do better with that. But, that's the stuff I think I like about him. A lot of times you see the pick there. Now I got to throw this thing right back over the middle. They're going to call it right away for me again to make me do it. A lot of times you'd see a guy panic on that. I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to go right here to this guy in the flat, or I'm going to go right here to this guy in the flat, or I'm going to run or do something so I don't have to do this. But he does anyway, and it's completion, and Alexander makes a play for him, and it's a big play, and they wind up turning this thing into a touchdown. That's the stuff I think that with his game winds up being the reason why, at the end of the day here, if they made him their second string quarterback to start the season, I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world, because I think you're going to practice squad a guy like, if you love Sudfeld, whatever, you're going to practice squad him anyway. And, if worse comes to worse, it is what it is. I would lean toward, if it's me, I'd give the job to Hendon. I think he's earned it. I think he played better in preseason than Nate Sudfeld did.